I reflected on our journey to a new constitution, and as has been ably put by those who have spoken before me, especially the former Prime Minister, we were members of the Parliamentary Select Committee that midwife the Constitution. But we all reflected on our journey towards a new Constitution. I was reminded in my conscience that when we got a new Constitution, we seemed to have said we are done with, decided that it may be too late to do the right thing. And that is why I signed a proclamation for us to celebrate this day, the day that we promulgated a new constitution, as Katiba Day. And I want to thank all of you for honoring my invitation so that we can do this together. As I reflected on how this should be done, I also was informed by the journey. What we discussed during the constitution-making process is that we had too many holidays. That was actually one of the problems we had, and that is why there was an attempt by the new constitution to consolidate national holidays, that there were too many. And so it was the reason why I also thought, in the spirit of this constitution, we should not make this a national holiday where there is no work. And partly why I thought maybe we should have this occasion in the afternoon so that people can work in the morning. It was my thinking. But maybe we can refine that as we go forward. But the Constitution of Kenya 2010 was born out of people's deepest desire for justice, inclusivity, and dignity. We longed for a country where power belongs to the people, where no Kenyan is left behind, and where rights and freedoms are guaranteed for all. Today, on the 15th anniversary of the enactment of the Constitution, we celebrate Katiba Day to honor the covenant and to renew our fidelity to its vision. This Constitution is acclaimed across the world as one of the most progressive and transformative. It is our solemn duty to preserve it, protect it, and to ensure its full implementation. Ladies and gentlemen, our Constitution was born out of hard and painful lessons. The tragic events, for example, of 2007-2008 remind us how far our nation could descend when institutions fail, when resources are hoarded by a few, and when divisions are cynically exploited. From that moment of crisis, we made a solemn resolve: never again. Never again would Kenya be brought to the brink of collapse by impunity and injustice. For we knew that we, as a people, deserved better, and our country demanded better. Katiba 2010 became our national testimony, our solemn vow to build a free, democratic, inclusive, and united Kenya. Over the past 15 years, we have walked that journey. We have injected life into this great chapter. Fellow Kenyans, as stipulated in Article 174, devolution has come alive. It has fostered equity by distributing resources fairly and addressing historical imbalances. Many have been mentioned. Matters to do with health. Many counties, for the first time, had doctors in facilities. We've been told about the first cesarean session done in Mandera County for the first time under devolution. And many, many testimonies could follow. Since the birth of devolution 12 years ago, the national government has transferred a total of 4 trillion to counties. Today, every corner of Kenya has a functional county government, closer to the people than ever before. From our first day in office, I affirmed that devolution would not merely be a constitutional provision, but the crown jewel of our democratic governance. I pledge to accelerate the full transfer of all outstanding devolved functions as assigned in the 4th schedule of our Constitution, together with the requisite resources. This commitment is gazetted, eliminating long-standing ambiguities that hampered service delivery and fueled intergovernmental disputes. To further underscore this commitment, 2 weeks ago, I signed into law 2 landmark pieces of legislation: the County Public Finance Law Amendment Act of 2023 and the County Allocation of Revenue Act 2025. In line with Article 217 of the Constitution, these laws reinforce the principle of equitable revenue sharing among counties, guarantees fairness in the distribution of national resources, and empowers county assemblies to play their rightful role and clearly define the respective mandates of both national and county governments. Under my leadership, the national government is committed to support devolution by ensuring timely disbursement of funds and steadily increasing allocation to counties. Under the Division of Revenue Act 2025, we have allocated an unprecedented 415 billion to counties. As chairman of the Council of Governors, FCPA Ahmed Abdullahi has affirmed nearly 30 billion shillings more than last year's 387 billion. I know that my good friend Abdullahi has urged that we should enhance allocation to counties, and I have committed that we will continuously do that. But I also want to ask for the assistance of my county government leaders, the governors. The job of mobilizing resources is a very difficult job. As I mobilize resources nationally, I also want you to work with me and to assist me to mobilize resources at the county. Don't leave the business of mobilizing resources to me, because in the process of trying to mobilize resources so that I can transfer more to the counties, I have acquired names, including Sakayo, and you know it. And I know no county governor wants to raise resources locally, although the law now exists for own source revenue. I would want to ask of you, governors, please, even as you urge me to transfer more resources because I have to mobilize, also look at the opportunity to mobilize resources locally. Even if you are called Sakayo at the county, it will not make any difference. It is still okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bill of Rights, enshrined in Chapter 4 of the Constitution, is the heart of our democratic order. It guarantees every Kenyan fundamental freedoms and socio-economic rights, including the right to education, health, housing, food, water, and dignity as set out in Article 43. Over the past 15 years, we have worked diligently to breathe life into these rights. And I say this in the full understanding that for citizens of our nation to be able to enjoy our democratic credentials, to be able to enjoy the rule of law and constitutionalism, there are rights guaranteed under Article 43, social and economic rights, that are fundamental to citizens enjoying other rights. A Sikh, ignorant, uneducated, homeless, hungry citizen is very difficult to enjoy democracy, human rights,